You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the January 22nd, 2024 meeting of the Long Beach Public Works Committee. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Can you email them back for me, Greg? Just tell me, I'll just
hello, I see you all. I think I hear you. It's Rick. I'm available.
Sorry about that, Rick. The internet went down.
Like I said, it could have been worse. It could have been me operating it.
I'm gonna blame it on myself here. Let's see here. Let me get this back.
Yikes.
Okay. We're recording. So. Becky, you're still with us. I don't see Marilyn. It looks like Marilyn fell off when we lost internet. Frozen. Becky the post. Yes, the internet went down. We should be back up, and I'll try and log back in. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. We're going to pick back up on the street department report. So Tom's working on a quote for us for the F-550 truck. That is to replace the current F-550 that would then move down to a spare status, and then our F-250, our current F-250 would then more than likely be sold at public auction rather than being traded. And then the large plow trucks, and we're going to need to start discussing those and taking a look at them as well. Currently, Tom's working on one of the trucks. As we speak, I'm one of the hydraulic hoses on that truck. Other than that, everything is well at the street department. And again, a big thank you to the crew for all their work over the last 72 years.
Unbelievable.
It was the most snow I've seen in some time. So
it was epic.
Yeah. With that, Kendra, that's it for the street department.
Okay. Water?
Good morning. Just an update on Lakeshore Drive project. We just started to work at 24, going east to stop 30. Everything seemed to be going good, no big issues. They were close to having about 30 services completed out of the 136. With the cold weather, we had the past week weren't able to work, and now all the snow, they're not, I don't know when they're going to come back out and restart. So, also, it's not on the agenda. The water department received a grant from the Indiana Finance Authority through WTH, which is our GIS firm that does all of our mapping for our water system and stormwater system. This is a $25,000 grant that will pay for WTH to input all our data into the lead and copper portal for IDEM. This scope of work has to be completed by October this year and is a requirement for IDEM that all water systems have to do this to stay compliant with the state. The grant also extends forward for WTH to create a layer for our maps to be able to pull up any of the information that's in our portal at any given address as needed on our maps. We'll know pipe sizes, what kind of pipe, obviously where the locations are at, you know, it's just going to be a good tool to have. So, they'll start working on that as soon as they have time, I guess. And that's all I have as far as that goes. We have on here proposed new infrastructure.
I think that's the increasing of your water capacity up there off of 15, 16, 17. Even future projects down the road.
Yeah, I haven't Actually, I haven't got any quotes or anything like that, no engineering or anything, nothing like that, so I'm not really prepared to discuss that kind of project right now. I don't know what stops 15, 16, 17 are supposed to be, what's that?
I think that's just the proposed new infrastructure for that area.
Oh, is that what that,
I think you're talking about the fire hydrants up there and the capacity for those hydrants, and then you want to add
that would be 16, 18,
16, 18.
yeah.
I think the thought there, Greg, is whatever, if we finish up with the water service project this year, then what do you think you want to do looking forward with capital projects? You know, if you want to do that, or look at that, or get some engineering done.
Yeah, we can look at that. There are some smaller things that I think that are a little more needy than that project right now. We need to get some inline valves put in on Oriole Trail here, because that is our main feed coming from Moore Road that pumps in and feeds the water tower. And right now, literally, I think there's might be like one inline valve on that line. So needless to say, if something were to happen to that water main, we would pretty much have to shut down. There would be multiple, probably at least 15 valves to even isolate that main. So the more valves, obviously, that are in a water main, the less interruption you're gonna make for other people. You can isolate things a little easier. And there's not any on that line as far as I know. So when we've been through the old maps, if they're there, we don't know there. So I'd like to add some,
Which I guess as an example, that would be similar to what happened last week with the water main break on US 12 at Carwood Road, and everything pretty much north, the apartments in that lost the water due to that major accident from the line put there. So yeah, I think it is good that we pursue that, to have those valves
and
in
then
place.
the valves that they did try to use to close, to isolate their situation, they broke. So that's why it took forever to get those, had workers come out, they worked all night, and then they also did to get one fixed, and yeah, that was, I'm glad it wasn't us. We had the fire hydrant hit.
Yeah, well, I got that.
I don't want to go down there. But with that being said, I did talk to Chris Johnson, the superintendent from Michigan City, when that all happened, and they shut down Shorewood, or interconnected Shorewood, simply because they have to do a boiler in that area, and we do feed from that area through Shorewood. So we just shut it down that way until they got a good back T. They'll open it back up. We're basically through this whole ordeal with pulling our water from Moore Road, which we do most of the time anyway, in Lakeshore Drive. So Long Beach was not affected by it at all. We have no boil orders or anything like that. So, water tower improvements, the only thing that I foresee as far as improvements on the water tower, we're probably due in about 5 more years for another paint job, and probably inside of epoxy. You're supposed to do that like every 10 years. This summer with the water tower, I'm gonna get a hold of Dixon, and they're our tank engineers, and I'm gonna do a flush out. I'm gonna have LC United come in, we'll drain the water tower, they go in and actually flush everything out, clean the sediments out, and then I'll have Dixon do a quick visual to make sure that what they do is done right, and just overlook everything. And that's about all we're gonna do with that for now. So no big improvements with the tower until about 5 years, probably then. If I had to guess, you're probably looking at about 150 grand, probably to repaint that tower and re-epoxy the inside. And that doesn't even include probably engineer fees either. So it's gonna be, because I think it was like 90-some thousand we had it done. So I'm figuring, it's gonna be a lot more than what it was 5 years ago, so.
So if we plug 100.5 in, it would be closer.
Be close.
And I'm looking at our capital plan for 2027. Greg had estimated $150,000 for tank painting, and we've got it scheduled in the calendar year 2027.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be close. And then, equipment, I think we're good on equipment right now. We were looking at one time I was talking about a valve exerciser. I mean, we turn our valves by hand. prime example, the reason why Michigan City had the issues they had with their valves in this last event was they used a valve exerciser on it. And if you don't know how to use one of those, you're gonna bust valves. So, because those valves are designed for they're man-made turns. They're not designed to be mechanically turned, you know, so you have to know how many turns that valve has to have. If you put a machine on it that thinks, okay, I want to turn this thing 100 times, it only needs to be turned 95, and then boom, you break a valve, you know, so I'm still on the fence on whether we're gonna get one. I mean, they would be nice to have. And you can shortfall them, like if you have a 6-inch valve and it's 100 turns, you can take out the machine and say, okay, it's a 4-inch valve, so it's only gonna do, you're gonna do less turns than what it's supposed to do, and then you finish it. So, I don't know.
My recommendation is as young as Austin is and strong as he is, they're in good shape. So.
Yeah.
You can exercise them all.
It would be a nice tool to have, but I mean, if we don't have, our biggest main hire is 10-inch, so, you know, like bigger cities have 24s and 30-inch vanes where they're 300 or 400 turns to close a valve. I mean, I can understand you want to put a machine on something like that, you know, so I'm not.
You good on rolling stock and everything, or what are you thinking, how many years you got before you need a new truck or whatever?
Our truck, we've had it's a 2020, so it's gonna be 4 years old, this spring, so we usually roll them out every 5 years. I think we've been a little longer on the last one. I think
No, we shorter because we got a good deal for trading memory serves.
we have the 2013,
Oh,
so we traded it in 2020, so we went a little longer on that.
Yeah.
So, typically, you know, with the water service, and there's a lot of driving, running around, and if you trade them in early enough, you get a good buck for them. You know, I mean, we basically got that truck for like $18,000 after our trade-in,
Right.
you know, so it's, you know, that's not equipped though. I mean, that was just the truck itself, not any equipment, not any lighting, or anything like that, but,
Well, I think we're trying to be a little proactive on not to get something drilled down.
Right.
It's not. Even the big plow trucks, I think, you know, we're finding that some of the maintenance on those get a little more serious now with brake lines and stuff like that. So I think the point is not waiting until you lose all the value in the year. If we can afford it, I mean, that's something for the council to decide, but maybe our recommendation is, you know, I don't know, what are you thinking, 25?
We've got
2025.
We've got it scheduled in the capital plan for 2026 for $65,000. And I know we had discussed getting more of a service truck similar to the truck that Tom has with cargo boxes in the back. So that, you know, the tools and everything could be in there. So it'd be similar to the street superintendent's truck. But yeah, we have it scheduled in 2026 for your pickup.
And then we like to plow.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we used to have a plow for years and it dropped off. This last one, we didn't get a plow package on. So it would just be nice to have one for just because now we're all.
You think we have to plug in like 80 or something?
All would have to be, go probably $85,000 probably for plow.
So maybe we adjust it. Get your plan next year. Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Only thing I have to add to Greg's report is we received the invoice and statement this morning from Haas and Associates for the water service replacement project. It's their engineering work and other site work. Total is $7,376.15. I reviewed it this morning. It's in Diane's hands for payment, and I just want to share it with you that the council's approved this. That's one of several invoices to come. But all the work has been completed for that project, and it'll come out of the water reserves.
Yeah, I think Woodruff was talking about maybe doing one invoice on that water service project, so we may not have any progress payments on that, but that might change depending on how it goes on, but I think that was the intent, so we may not see an invoice until they're done. But they're, you know, that could change, but at the worst, it's gonna be a couple of payments.
Yeah. Okay, that might be it. Anything else? Anybody else? No? Okay, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.
Rick Remages, so moved or what?
Great. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys, on Zoom.
Aye.
What, oh, sorry, is there any questions about anyone from the audience? Everyone, is anyone?
You got 6 officers. No,
Yeah,
it's all committee members.
okay.
All right, thank
Thank
you,
you.
gentlemen.
Bye. Bye-bye.